Hey guys, it's James with Sinclair Timepieces. I wanted to go over the topic of how to spot a fake Rolex or when you think something just might be off a little bit. So to be clear, the packaging here on the left is authentic and the packaging here on the right is the piece in question. So for example, if you look, this box lid on my left is the authentic one. You can see the font is very clear. Everything is proportionally correct. The box on the right is the one in question. Now, again, the thing that I want to be clear on is there are aftermarket or replica, we won't use the F word, we won't say fake, but there are replica boxes floating around. A replica box doesn't mean that a watch itself is not authentic. But I want to point out a couple other things to look at here. This happens to be a Datejust 41. So again, this is the authentic one here on the left. The pillow that Rolex sends is very squishy. The seam here, the stitching is straight, right? It's almost perfect. The watch here on the right, I don't know if the camera picks it up, but the color's wrong. The color's off. When I try to squeeze this, it's rock hard. It's not squishy. The stitching is crooked. It's just off, right? So again, a fake or replica or aftermarket box doesn't mean that the watch itself is fake, but I want to dive into it a little bit more with you. So this is the green and the white tag that were, included with the authentic piece. I want you guys to notice here, if we zoom in, this is what I'm calling the green tag in question here on the right versus the one on the left. If you look closely, you can see that the font on the word Geneve is not right. It's skinnier. The crown itself is a little bit skinnier. The word Rolex and the two rings, again, the one in my left hand is authentic. The one on the right is the one in question. So even the lettering for Rolex SA, it's a little bit thicker on the left. On the right, it's just too skinny. So that was kind of another flag. And then the other thing I wanted to show you is on the white tag itself. Okay, again, the box, the cushion, the packaging can be a replica and the watch itself could still be authentic. But here's what I want to show you on this white tag. If you look closely at the white tag, the lettering, it's too high up. It's too close to the top. Here's the authentic one on the left. And just everything about it, where it shows Oyster M here, Oyster M. The M is like not perfectly straight. It's a little crooked. And again, it's too high up. It's like everything is shifted on the replica here on the right, where the authentic one on the left is perfect, right? So the printing's not right. Now, it's one thing to have an aftermarket package. It's another thing to have a white tag. This white tag comes from Rolex. This shouldn't be off. The printing shouldn't be too close to the top. The word Oyster M, the M shouldn't be a little crooked or off to the right. So again, when you look at it, it's just not exactly how it should be, which makes me question if the entire watch is authentic or not. The card looks okay, but again, when you look at the two cards, one is dated May of 23, the other is dated June of 23. Two watches, that were manufactured. Now, that's not the date of manufacture, that's the date of sale. But on two watches that were manufactured within a reasonable, similar time frame, things shouldn't be that far off. I don't believe for a second that Rolex changed the font on how they print their green tags. So again, there's just enough red flags for me to question. Another thing I wanted to point out to you, we talked about the squishy pillow, just kind of going back to the packaging. Again, the authentic piece on the left. Look at how smooth this is. And now I want you to compare it to the one here on the right. Look at how it's textured. Look at how this is trimmed out perfectly. And on here, it's just not cut right. So again, you know, this packaging on the right is not authentic. It's just off. Everything about it tells me that there's something off, from the cushion to the packaging. And then I start looking at the green tag. Well, you know, not the end of the world if the green tag's not authentic, but you get enough red flags and then you start questioning the watch itself. Believe it or not, brand new Rolexes, especially steel models, when you handle them, when they're brand new, they actually kind of squeak. There's almost a squeak to the bracelet. And this one, I'm not getting any of that. So needless to say, this will be going back to the dealer that I got it from. I inspected the watch thoroughly before I ship it out to my client. The packaging is wrong. The green and white tag are wrong. The white tag shouldn't be wrong. It should be exact, and it's not. Everything is shifted and just sitting too high up. The spacing's just not right. So this is going to go back to the dealer. I don't dare send this to my client. But just make sure when you're inspecting these things, guys, you know, these replicas, they look good. But you just got to do your due diligence. Make sure you inspect it. We inspect all of our pieces here at Sinclair Timepieces before we ship them off. So this will not be going to the end user. I won't put my name on this. It's going to go back to the dealer that I got it from. I'm getting a replacement piece. Even just the finishing here on the top of the box, this almost looks like leather, like hide, right? And this one, it's almost smooth. So yeah, just a lot of red flags. It just made me go, something's not right. If your gut tells you something's not right, guys, inspect it, because this thing is all sorts of off. From the moment I opened up the box, I suspected. Again, a watch can be authentic. The packaging can be aftermarket or replica. But really the red flag for me as to why I'm questioning the authenticity of the watch itself is the white tag here. You know, it's just not right. It's shifted too high up. I don't think that Rolex would be that sloppy. Even the back of them, you know, they aren't identical. It's close, but it's not exact. Again, the one on the left being authentic. The one on the right, just everything with the font, the lettering just seems a little bit off. It's good, but it's not exact. So, you know, lesson learned for you new dealers out there. Make sure you inspect all your watches. This happens to be for a Yachtmaster that's totally authentic. Again, we got a squishy pillow. Everything's right about it. And this thing just screams something's off. So thanks for watching, guys.